Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. I am super excited because today I'm going to be doing a review on a new fragrance line from my favorite, probably my favorite fragrance designer, which is Kilian, or by Kilian, I think is like the official name of the brand. I should probably know that. But anyhow, on Sephora, literally like a day or two ago on the app, I saw that they had a new collection. And I haven't done too much exploring. Like, I don't know if it's a Sephora exclusive or like totally what the deal is, but it's a new collection. There are 4 scents within it, and they are Princess, Kissing, Adults, and Boys. And it's appears to be a little bit more of an affordable perfume compared to some others in the Kilian range. I want to like unbox it with you and smell them with you. But then I also want to actually be able to provide you with like a wear test and kind of give some more information. If y'all like fragrance and perfume and fragrance content, I would love it if you would subscribe. I do talk about fragrance a fair amount here on my channel. It's one of my very favorite things. And I like to think of myself as like pretty well versed, but hey, I can always learn more. I'm not a professional. I'm just like a big fan. So I know a lot just from like personal research, but like I'm always down to talk via the comments or whatever and just meet more people who are like into fragrance like I am. Ooh, so they look like this. I can already smell through the box. Okay, so the first one I picked up is called Boys. Can you see that? And then there's like a little quote that comes with each one, which is like slightly cheesy, just slightly, but also kind of cute. So this says, bad boys are no good, but good boys are no fun. On the back it says, I wanted to invite you to take a walk on the wild side with a scent made for misbehaving. Boys is a very sexy, very fresh scent thanks to the instantly recognizable cola accord made of nutmeg, cinnamon, and lime. And the notes in this one are sparkling cola, cinnamon, and cedarwood. Wow. I feel like I can smell the cola already. Holy cow, look at this. It looks like a little hot air balloon. Are you kidding me? So the little quote, the bad boys are no good, but the good boys are no fun, is the base. And then it has the Kilian emblem. Again, there's a reflection from this light, but there's the Kilian emblem here. And you lift it off, I think. Or no, you kind of twist it. Oh my gosh. I do smell cola. Now they are eau de parfum, so even though I said they look like they're a little bit of a less expensive collection, but I don't know that for a fact because I would have to do some math and compare the ounces. But like this is the size of a full size, like normal Kilian bottles. This is Back to Black and this is the full size. This one has only 1.7 fluid ounces, but this guy is a heftier price tag than what this one is, and this is when I took it off the base. Now these ones are, I think, 1 fluid ounce, so it is a little bit less, but not a ton. How much were these? I think these were 75. Yeah, I will double check that, but I'm pretty sure this was 75, which is really not that bad because if you know fragrance, you know that Kilian is way more in the high-end category, whereas a lot of designer fragrances like I don't know, I can't think of a good example, but you know, just the average ones that you're gonna see at almost every department store and stuff like that, those are going to like be more in the, like 75 isn't chump change, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that this one is like closer to 300, this is $75, so you know what I'm saying? Okay, let's get into this one. When I smell it just straight up like this, I definitely smell the cola. I also smell some like other just kind of spiciness. I really like it. And I don't even like Coke or cola, just FYI, but it still kind of smells interesting. Just because I don't drink it doesn't mean that I, you know. Wow, I really like this upon first. Oh, okay, interesting. Look, I went to set the ball down and it really is just like a ball, so it'll roll around. That's why it has this cute little base. Okay, that smells amazing. I can definitely smell the cola in there. I can definitely smell the nutmeg and the cinnamon. I can smell a hint of the lime. And then the cedar wood, yeah, I can actually smell every single note, which I feel like doesn't happen all that often. This smells androgynous. I feel like a man could wear this, a woman could wear this. It's sexy. I feel like this is year-round because it has the freshness of the lime. It's not too heavy, but it definitely has some spicy, warmer, sexy notes that make it a little bit more nighttime appropriate or like, you know, colder months appropriate. But I'm smelling a fresh lightness that tells me this would wear well all year round. I am loving that. That's very unique. That's different than anything I've ever smelled. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is probably gonna span over a few days, so I'm sorry if this editing or anything's a little choppy or if this video is a little bit long, but I wanna smell them on camera for a first impression, then I wanna actually do a wear test, because you know, that's the last ingredient in any perfume is your skin. Somebody just told me that at the Tom Ford counter in Bergdorf Goodman in New York, and I thought it was very true. Some good fragrance wisdom there. Okay, so I'm loving that. Let's go to the next one. The next one is called Adults. This one, the quote is, "Let's settle this argument like adults in the bedroom, naked." So it's Kilian, it's a little bit provocative and risque. The box says, "I wanted to create the solution to all of lovers' quarrels with a fragrance to end all fighting. Adults is a very sensual scent with a top note of fig milk that hits soft like naked skin, then cedarwood and vanilla prolong the experience into much more than 6 minutes of pleasure." So the notes are fig milk, cedarwood, and vanilla. Interesting combinations again. So I'm going to twist it off. Okay, smells a little bit more like I've smelled it before versus the Boys one smelled very, very unique right when I smelled it on the bottle. Now let's spray. Oh wow, that smells very different on the card than I feel like it did in the bottle. I don't even know how to explain that. Okay, I think I'm smelling the fig a lot. Like a lot. Like a lot. Like that's kind of the only note I'm smelling. Is fig, and I guess like the fig milk because it smells a little bit creamy and a little bit milky. This smells familiar. It's nice, it's pretty. I don't love it. Like it's not speaking to me the way that Boys was speaking to me. Just because this smells almost like it should be more of a candle, like a home fragrance. I do smell a little bit of the cedarwood, maybe a little bit of the vanilla, but I feel like that fig milk is really overpowering. Yeah, that smells just kind of like a fig candle to me. It's high quality, it's nice, but there's just something I can't put my finger on it. It doesn't necessarily make me want to like spray my whole body in it. It's definitely pretty, it's creamy, it's milky, but it's just really figgy. I don't know. Boys was my favorite so far out of the two. The next one is called Princess. The quote on this guy is, "I don't need a prince by my side to be a princess." So I would imagine this one's gonna be pretty feminine, but we'll see. He said, "I wanted to amp up the girl power with a unique, sweet scent calling out all fierce females. Gourmand with a kick, Princess is like sipping on a green tea mocha with a fluffy marshmallow and a tip of ginger on the nose for sassy spice." So the notes are ginger, green tea, and marshmallow. So really interesting notes if I ever heard interesting notes. Oh, I like it. My first bottle whiff is that I like it. I smell the marshmallow. Ooh, it's different. Very interesting. Okay. Oh me, oh my. That is sweet. That smells way sweeter on the card than it did on the bottle sniff. Like way sweeter. Okay, so ginger, green tea, marshmallow. It is gourmand. It's very sweet. Now, Kilian has another fragrance called Love that has marshmallow in it. It's marshmallow, orange blossom, and vanilla, and that's very, very, very sweet, but this is very different. It's a different kind of sweet. So the marshmallow is the main thing that's poking through for me, but I do feel like I smell some of the ginger just a little bit because it's sweet, but it's not like pink sugar sweet. Do you know that brand? Pink Aquilina Pink Sugar? It's like borderline. It's like actually right on the cusp of being that, but then I think the green tea and ginger are like really kind of sophisticated, unique scents that more common perfumes or more designer fragrances wouldn't put in their fragrances. So because Kilian is a little bit more of a niche, high-end, like exquisite perfumer, I think those two added elements are kind of giving it something different. Now, the longer it's sitting on this card, I feel like the sweeter it's getting, but it's hard to explain because it still has this layer of like the green tea, the ginger, the marshmallow is definitely powering through the most, but it's like, it's wearing a sweater of green tea and ginger, and that sweater's not coming off of it. I don't know, does that make sense? Like, Boys is still my favorite so far out of the three, but this is probably my second. It might be a little too sweet for my liking, but I'll have to try it with the body chemistry. It's really different. It's cool. I like it. And the last one in this collection is called Kissing. It says Kissing burns 6.4 calories a minute, wanna work out. So again, like kind of cheesy, kind of like provocative, but it says, when else can you experience something so sweet and burn calories all at the same time? Kissing is a luscious remix of floral and gourmand notes. Just like a kiss, as the perfume evolves, the emotions become more intense. So this has Lily of the Valley, hot milk, and sugar candy. The fact that like hot milk is listed as like the main component or one of the main, it's just interesting, you know what I mean? So that's one thing I definitely like. I've got to give it up for innovation. Like, this bottle is just cool. If you're a fragrance collector like I am, like I have mine all displayed on a shelf over here, like this is what you want to display. I like that it's in like this dark black container. It's gonna preserve the juice inside of here really well. The only downfall is that you can't like see how much you have, but I mean, oh, and if I didn't mention, which I don't think I did, so this is the 1 ounce bottle, which I said I believe it retails for $75, but I will confirm that and link everything below. There were also like rollerball sizes. I think they're sprays, but they're like that size. Those were $30 each. And then there was a larger size than this. Why don't I just look for you guys? Yes, so the 3.4 ounce version is $135. This is the 1 ounce is $75. And then there's a 0.25 like rollerball size, which is $30. So again, that's really not that much. A 3.4 ounce perfume to be $135. I mean, a lot of really like high-end designer fragrances like Kilian, they're way more once you get up to that size. So these are kind of cool. Anyway, back to this one. So Kissing, yes, yes, yes. We have Lily of the Valley, hot milk, sugar candy. Let's do a bottle sniff. Interesting. I smell the floral note in there. I'm not crazy about florals. Well, I say this every time. Floral is not my first favorite thing, but I do like certain florals. I'm just kind of more picky with them. Honestly, okay, so side note, I have a little summer job at Bath & Body Works, and on bottle smell, this is reminding me of Japanese cherry blossom from Bath & Body Works, which is a great, great, great scent. But like, I also don't want my Kilian perfume to smell like Bath & Body Works. This would be higher quality, undoubtedly, but okay, let's do a card spray. Wowza, that is interesting. Okay, first of all, I can definitely smell the floral. It does not smell like Japanese cherry blossom right now anyway on the card. And it also smells way more summery than I thought. Like, it's giving me vibes of kind of like a Tom, I mean, not exactly, but you know how like Tom Ford Soleil Blanc and Replica Beach Walk, and for me, even like Jo Malone French Lime Blossom, like some of those kind of have almost a sunscreeny, summery, beachy smell. I'm getting a slight vibe of that. Actually, this also kind of smells a little bit like Jo Malone Mimosa and Cardamom, which also has kind of a summery smell to me. I'm sorry if you're unfamiliar with the ones that I'm listing. I'm just kind of thinking out loud. I like this. This is very different. So I smell a floral note. I'm not specifically familiar with Lily of the Valley, but I mean, I'm assuming like, okay, it smells like flowers to me, but it is pretty. Hot milk, I mean, I guess there is an element of creaminess to it. And then the sugar candy, I mean, it's sweet, so that's really cool. Okay, so Boys is still my favorite out of the 4. So I kind of wish I wouldn't have done that one first, but oh well. I'm gonna go back and smell the little cards one more time. So this is Boys. Oh wow, yeah, that is so cool. Okay, it smells a little bit more cologne-like now. I can still smell the cola, still smell the lime. Still smell the cinnamon. This one is Adults. The fig seems to have tamed down a little bit, but yeah, it's like a creamy sweet fig. Princess. This one's cool. Very gourmand, very sweet. That might be my second favorite. And then Kissing. Also really cool. Floral. So first, sniff test. Boys is my favorite, Adults is my least favorite. They're all really nice though, and I am impressed with the packaging and just the whole collection. I think it's really cool, and it still seems very true to Kilian. So I'm now going to spray one of these on, and then once I have tested all 4 of them, I will be back to kind of wrap this up and give you like the full review. So see you then. Alright guys, a few days later, a different graphic tee, same fragrance review. Honestly, I feel like a lot of the kind of notes that I made upon my very first impression stayed the same, but I did actually jot down some notes in my phone, just kind of like things that I noticed as I was wearing the fragrances. So the first one we talked about was Boys, and Boys again is the one that has the note of cola, like Coca-Cola. It definitely smells like cola, like in the bottle. When you spray it, when you put it on, it definitely has that very recognizable Coca-Cola scent. For that reason, I think this is super cool, super unique. I've never smelled a scent that smells like Coca-Cola, and it's also not like kitschy or childish. It smells like a Kilian sophisticated niche fragrance, but it smells like Coca-Cola. I think that this would probably be a little bit, it's a touch masculine. I think that Coca-Cola note would be really interesting on a guy. It does work on a woman as well, but I do think it's a touch masculine. As I wore this scent, the cola, like it's really strong. The cola pretty much stays true. It stays throughout. You can smell the lime as well. It's spicy and I really like it, but I'm not totally sold. I don't know how to explain it. I think I was the most excited about this one in the bottle, but then on my skin, I think, I don't know, it's really good. I don't know how to say it. It is good. It's very unique. That's the word I'm going to keep using. It's really unique, and so it's good. It's great. It just doesn't like move my soul the way certain other fragrances do. Like Kilian Back to Black, that moves my soul. Like that one is just like, oh my gosh, it smells so amazing. This smells great and really unique. I keep saying that word. But I'm not obsessed, but it is super cool. Check that one out. Okay, in terms of longevity, Boys had a decent longevity, but the whole collection, I've got to be honest, I don't think the staying power, the sillage, the longevity was super great. Kilian is very high end, and a lot of their fragrances will last for a very long time on the body. Now, as I already mentioned, this is a slightly less expensive range, and so, you know, it kind of doesn't surprise me too much that the quality might be a little bit affected by that, meaning the longevity of the actual oils and the scents in there. So I do think you kind of need to respray. Like I would spray it on, go to work, and come back and definitely feel like I needed to touch up. So there's that. The longevity's okay, but it's certainly not that of the regular Kilian fragrances. The next one here is Kissing. The notes in Kissing are Lily of the Valley, hot milk, and sugar candy. I said that it smelled a little bit sweet, florally, and kind of summery, like kind of sunscreeny. And then I identified right away when I sprayed it that it reminds me a lot of Jo Malone Mimosa and Cardamom. So if you're familiar with that scent, which also gives me that same kind of sunscreeny vibe. Now, after I wore this scent, it was the same way. It gave me such Jo Malone Mimosa and Cardamom vibes. However, I liked this one even more than I liked Jo Malone Mimosa and Cardamom. This one was a little bit sweeter, and I think it's because it has that sugar candy note. So I've always been a fan of the Jo Malone one, but I've never liked it enough to own it. I would maybe get like a candle of it for Jo Malone, but it's like, okay. Now this though, for a fragrance, is awesome because it has that kind of unique, creamy, sunscreeny, summery feel to it, but then it also has a sweetness, which makes it really unexpected, really unique. I did find that the longevity on this was not super strong. Like I already said that in general, they're not great, but this lasted even less than Boys. Boys was probably the best actually out of the 4. Princess was decently, had decent longevity as well. But this one wasn't the best, but this is probably my second favorite of the 4. Boys, I think, is my third favorite. This is my second favorite. Maybe I should have gone in order, but I'm not. We're just talking in the order that I'm talking in. The next one was Adults, and this is probably my least favorite of the 4. When I smelled this just originally in the bottle and on the card, I told you how the fig note was really overpowering. The notes in this are fig milk, cedarwood, and vanilla. It smelled to me more of like a home fragrance or like a candle. That fig is just super present, and combined with just the cedarwood and the vanilla, I don't know, it just didn't move me really. Now I will say that when I put it on with my chemistry, I did like it more than I did when I sprayed it on a card. When I put it on my body, I could smell more than just the fig. It smelled a little bit spicier. The sweetness from the vanilla came through more as well on the body. So yeah, I was very like, wow, this is super fig heavy when I very first experienced it. But then as I wore it, I definitely started to kind of notice some of those other notes. It became more complex. It became more elegant, and definitely something that I liked more. With that said though, it still just is not, for me, it's not my favorite of the 4. I mean, I'm not offended by it at all. Like, it's nice. I would wear it, but I wouldn't reach for this first. If you like fig scents and that combination sounds good to you, the fig, cedarwood, and vanilla, definitely check it out, because I really like this whole line, and Kilian is one of my favorite fragrance designers. But for me personally, this scent just was like, it wasn't that magical to me. And the last fragrance, which I do think is my #1 favorite, is Princess. And I was actually really excited by this. I liked the way it smelled a lot in the actual bottle. Ginger, green tea, and marshmallow. It's super sweet. But as I think I already mentioned the other day, Kilian has a scent called Love, which has marshmallow, orange blossom, and vanilla. That is very, very, very sweet. This is also very sweet, but in a very different way. When I sprayed it on the body, it was super sweet, just like it was when I sprayed it on the card, but it was a little bit more sharp and spicy and complex on the body than it was on the card. On the card, it was pretty much just sweet, sweet, sweet. Not bad, but sweet. On the body, it was more spicy, more complex. I use the word sharp, but not in a negative way, but it definitely is sharp. It's like a sharp, sweet spiciness. It's hard to explain. It's a little bit gourmand. I think that actually is in the description. So it definitely gave me those gourmand vibes, but it was super sophisticated at the same time. And I think that's what I love about Kilian, is sometimes really common designer fragrances that are very sweet, they're good, they smell nice, like undoubtedly they smell good, but it lacks a certain level of sophistication and complexity that I think really like niche high-end fragrance designers are able to capture. And so again, my example of Kilian Love, or this one, Kilian Princess, it's that sweet gourmand attractive scent, but in a really elegant, sophisticated way. Now, after I wore this for about an hour, I realized as I was smelling it on my body, and I actually do have it on this side right now, it smells to me like YSL Black Opium. YSL Black Opium is a really popular fragrance, but for whatever reason, I don't really like it. I mean, I don't dislike it. It doesn't really sing to me. It doesn't call my name. That one I know has coffee and vanilla, and it's very sweet. It's kind of gourmand, but for me, I don't know. Like, I do like the way that smells on other people, but I never got into it for myself. It was a little bit what I was mentioning, like a sweet, nice scent, but just not quite complex or sophisticated enough for my liking, not quite unique enough, a little too sweet, a little imbalanced. I just never really hopped on that YSL Black Opium train, but I know it's super popular. So again, after about an hour of wearing this, I was like, holy cow, that smells like Black Opium, but it's like, if I were to really, really like Black Opium. Does that make sense? Like, I was like, this reminds me a lot of Black Opium, but I'm actually really liking this. So I think it's the ginger note in there. I mean, not that I know that much about like fragrance, the actual like making of the juice, but the marshmallow's making it super sweet. Well, the green tea also. The green tea and the ginger are really unique. And I think that's what gives it that, like I keep saying, sophistication, complexity. So it has this sweet, sophisticated YSL black opium. Like, I feel like boys would love this smell on a female. But then it just has an extra edge that YSL Black Opium does not have. And so I repeat, this is my favorite of the four. I was kind of excited that I'm like, ooh, now I get to have that gourmand YSL Black Opium appeal that everybody seems to like, but in a version that works for me, if that makes sense. So my final thoughts on this collection are, I really like it. I think it's an affordable, fun way to experience Kilian. I think it's a good, I think that Kilian did a really good job of like maintaining the integrity of his brand, of like there's still really unique, complex scents. There's still like not anything else really like them on the market. They have really sleek, exquisite, cool like packaging. It still feels very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like expensive, luxurious. It still feels luxurious, but they are a little bit more affordable. They are a little bit more maybe appealing to the average kind of market or the average kind of nose. I think this is actually a really nice hybrid of appealing to wide audiences, both the niche fragrance obsessed people and then the just average Joe. It kind of meets in the middle there. You know, it's a little bit of a step up for some of the more average Joe people and maybe a little bit of a step down for some of the high-end people, but not in a negative way, just in a new, fresh, innovative, young take on the Kilian scent. So I think the price point is right. I think the packaging's super cool. I mean, it's a little bit like gaudy. It's a little like, oh gosh, you know, some of these quotes, but it's also kind of cool, and that's just Kilian. It's like, it's a bit much, but also, is it though? Like, it's kind of fun, and I just like the way they sit on there, and my only complaint would be that the longevity is not super strong, but other than that, I'm really into this collection. I think you should check it out. I don't know, like I mentioned, if it's exclusive to Sephora. I would imagine you can get it on the Kilian website, if nowhere else, but you know, Kilian and Sephora, but definitely check it out. It comes in 3 sizes, as I mentioned. I'm gonna link all the products down below. Let me know if you've tried this. Let me know which one is your favorite or which one you want to try now that I've kind of given you a review on them. And I hope to see you all very soon. If you like fragrance content, please subscribe or consider subscribing. Give me a thumbs up, something like that. I love fragrance and I'm always happy to talk to people who also love fragrance. So I'll see y'all next time. Love you. Mwah. Bye. Isn't my shirt cute? Target, baby. I'll link it if I can find it.